National Building Review Board is seeking to amend the Building Control Act with a view of tightening some loose ends in the law, thus harmonize operations in the sector. Some of the proposed amendments include building operations without building permit that currently prohibits any building operations undertaken without a permit and imposes meagre non-punitive fine not exceeding 50 current points or maximum imprisonment of 2 years. To the National Building Review Board, the fine should significantly be increased to 1 currency point per square meter of the built-up area.
One new thing that we are thinking about is the idea of express penalties. The way the law is now, if you commit an offense as a developer, as a builder, then we are required to actually take you through the legal process. You record statements, we take you to court hears the case on its merits, and then you have a verdict from court saying either you pay a fine or imprisonment or both. So that takes time, and in aspects where we have strict liability, you either have a building permit, for example, or not. Why would I wait for 2-3 years for court to actually prove that you don't have a permit? But that is something that we can decide and prove within 30 minutes of someone assuming that you don't have a permit. So some of these areas we are asking in the amendment that the minister be given powers to designate express penalties in the regulations, and we hope that when that is approved as an amendment, we'll have faster enforcement of some of these provisions and we'll have a safer environment.
Also up for revision is the penalty on the use of fake or substandard construction materials. In its current form, the Building Control Act prohibits use of methods and materials that are unsafe, which the law in seems to apportion a lenient punishment. In the proposed amendment, the fine for use of prohibited building methods and materials shall attract 5 currency points per square meter of the area built.
And the law at the moment says fine them 48 currency points. That's 960,000 shillings. But this is something that has been studied and it has been proven by technical independent experts that as it is now, it is generally unsafe. And you're asking the proponent of an unsafe method to pay a fine of 960,000 shillings. We think that is also not deterrent enough. And the proposed penalty now, I think, is 5 currency points per square meter. Again, the larger the structure, the higher the risk, the more dangerous it is, and therefore the fine should be commensurate to that.
Currently, in case of any accident at the construction site, it is entirely the responsibility of the developer. Citing a developer as a non-expert in the building works, the National Building Review Board is seeking to shift this responsibility to the site engineer, which ultimately means good for the sector.
Every local and urban authority has someone who is called a building control officer, who gives technical guidance to the building committee. It is his role to inspect buildings in his jurisdiction. So KCCA has a building control officer and assistants in each division of KCCA. It's the duty of those people to inspect the buildings in their areas, and if for one reason or another they suspect that a building has deteriorated below a certain acceptable level of service, then they can require the developer to repair or renovate. Now we want to strengthen that provision so that when this building control officer's assistant suspects that a building looks dilapidated beyond the level of services acceptable, that his intervention does not just stop on him just recommending, but actually the building committee can force this developer to repair or renovate his structure.
All this was revealed during a stakeholders consultative meeting that attracted district building control officers, chief administrative officers, town clerks, police, and among others.
Oyine empapula z'abakugu oba technical drawings okuva mu bakugu ab'enjawulo, ba architects, ba surveyors, ba engineers. Ekirala osasudde ensimbi ez'olina okusasula okufuna olukusa olw'ebyokuzimba. Gye emitendera egimu gy'olina okugoberera ng'olina otandika okuzimba.
In the regions, we have BPDA, have Attorney General chambers in the regions. We have Hotel General in the region. So we are saying, is it possible that you can also set up regional offices to support the building committees, especially in the initial phase?
Assistant Commissioner of Police Rusoke Kituma, who doubles as the police spokesperson, describes the engagement as pivotal in equipping the force on how best they can oversee enforcement of the law.
And the police being the principal body in matters of enforcement, it was an honor to attend so that we get it firsthand on the amendments being proposed, because essentially the meeting is about amendments to the bill.
Charity Marian Imnat and Kemono Docas, UBC News.